Namaskar. Today I am with you sharing my views on Panchayati system and district initiatives. Now before we embark upon the subject, let me explain few conceptual inputs which might be helpful in understanding the concepts and its deliberations. I take one concept from the physics. That is when two systems, they are in resonance, the energy transfer takes place and resultant is a better energy output than the two independent systems. This is one simple concept I'll take from physics. The second concept which I like to take and use is the system balance. Any system can be subdivided into smaller subsystems. These smaller subsystems, they are in balance within themselves, and when they interact with other subsystems, the totality of the system goes in balance. And the third concept which is relevant to understand is cause and effect. For any cause, there is a process and there is an output, which is an effect. This output, if goes into the input and synergize, the amplification takes place, the energy enhancement takes place. Now the entire concept of development are based on these three fundamental concepts. And in order to understand our discussions better, please do bear in mind while we proceed with the deliberations. These Panchayat Raj institutions, they are the grassroots levels of governance, and they have been proclaimed as the vehicle of socio-economic transformation of the rural poor. Effective and meaningful functioning of these bodies would depend on the active involvement, contribution and participation of villagers, both men and women. Again, just relate to the concept I have just given you. Two systems resonating, interacting, energy transfer taking place, and resultant energy being higher than the independent energy. That's the essence. That's the essence of the development. That's the essence of the growth. Bringing back to our issues. Now here, village is a unit. Number of village they comprise make a district. Number of district they comprise make a country, state, and number of state together they make a country. So these are various subsystems, the village subsystem, the district subsystem, the state subsystem, and the country as a whole. Now if the entire country has to be vibrant, energized, progressive, dynamic, in a leadership position as a world leader, then the entire chain has to be on the same vibration, same energy mode, and similar transfer of energy should take place. There should be similar thought and action process in all these systems, that is village subsystems, the district subsystems, the state subsystems, and the country as a whole. Imagine an academic situation, even if it is, that entire subsystems are vibrating, pulsating with the same energy, same thought process, same activity, same synergy. Imagine, just feel the country which we will generate, the India which we will generate. As on today, ours is a vast country. Ours is a country with more than 70-80% populations in the villages. Ours is a country where a lot of population is still on the poverty line, or some of them are below poverty line. And ours is the country where there are two different distinguished haves and have-nots. Now entire this has to be fused into a single vibrant synergetic function, synergetic energy, into a polar vector that will lead us to tremendous growth. This requires identifying the potentials, identifying the activities, identifying the resources, and then integrating these resources with the human factor and generating it into an economic activity which will lead to value addition of financial factors and socio-economic factors, and ultimately the political factors. This is the scenario, this is the model, and it is with this backdrop that we will see this Panchayat Raj system as to how such type of systems which prevailed in the ancient India over a period of history and social changes, they flew just along with Ganga and they reached a level. From there they met an stagnation, and from that stagnation they again revamped themselves and re-emerged as another set of vibrant systems, and that is Panchayati Raj institution. Here, every village is conceived to be an unitary republic. We don't have one republic, India is one, but imagine more than 2 lakhs of mini republics India comprises of. Even during the Rigved period, there are evidences which suggest that self-governing village bodies called sabhas, they existed. With passage of time, these sabhas became panchayats. Literally translated, panch plus yats. Panch means 5, yats means assembly. Assembly of 5 persons, they are respected elders, chosen and accepted by the village community. Panchayats were functional institutions of grassroots governance in almost every village of India. Panchayat had large powers, both judiciary and executive. Land was distributed and taxes were collected by these panchayats. Above these village panchayats, there were larger panchayats or councils to supervise and interfere wherever necessary. Then came the medieval India. A socio-economic change took place, especially socio. Casteism, feudalistic system of governance under Mughal rule, slowly eroded the self-governance of the villages, a concept so established from the Vedic period. A new class of feudal chief and revenue collectors known as zamindars, they emerged, and they were the link between the rulers and the people. And so began the decline and stagnation of self-governments in the villages. As the time passed, the British period came. Britishers were here to rule. They had a different priority. Panchayats had never been the priority of the British rulers. They would never like to have independent democratic setups at the unitary level, at the grassroots level. They were more interested in creation of controlled local bodies, which could help them in their trading interests and tax collection, revenue collections. The autonomy of Panchayat gradually declined with the establishment of local bodies, civil and criminal courts, revenue and police organizations by the British rulers, and gradually the system from a democratic setup became a centralized set of administration. When colonial administration came under severe pressure after the uprising of 1857, a remedy was sought for decentralization, even by the British rulers. You take a chain of reforms, the chain of committees which they set up. From 1870, Lord Mayo's resolution, committee like Royal Commission on Decentralization, Montague-Chelmsford reforms of 1990, or Government of India resolution of 1918. They all evolved a hierarchical administrative structure based on supervision and control. And Panchayati Raj system, a democratic governance at the grassroots level, had a backseat, total lapse. The administrator became the focal point of rural governments. From the panchayat systems, the administration system became the focal point in a rural governance. The Britishers were concerned with decentralized democracy but were aiming for a colonial objective. The British were not concerned with decentralized democracy but were aiming for colonial objective. I repeat, the British were not concerned with decentralized democracy but were aiming for colonial objectives. Then came a pre-independence era. The Indian National Congress emphasized the issue of All India Swaraj and organized movement for Indian independence under leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi advocated Panchayati Raj, a decentralized form of government where each village is responsible for its own affair. For a sustainable economic growth to take place in any country, it is necessary that people participate in political process of the society. The institution of Panchayati Raj is specifically designed for rural population with the basic objective of democratic decentralization and devolution of power to ensure accelerated socio-economic progress, with every individual being the architect of his her own government. That's something very interesting. Here is the click, here is the clue, where each and every individual, directly, indirectly, frontliner or in a subtle way, has got something to contribute to the national process. Here's something more important, that it also ensures the optimum utilization of available resources. Here, when the involvement of a person is there, it also ensures a tremendous amount of synergy will be generated in the process. Mahatma Gandhi's dream of Gram Swaraj, independent village republics, and he advocated Panchayati Raj as a decentralized form of government where each village is responsible for its own governance. India, primarily a rural country, cannot develop if the people in the village cannot participate and take decisions on issues that affect them most. This not only redresses the grassroots issues to the core, it also ensures whatever resources are available for a country like 1 billion plus India, it is essential that each and every resource is grabbed and utilized into financial activity contributing to the national income. Now, similar sentiments were expressed by our first Prime Minister, Shri Jawaharlal Nehru. India is poor because villages of India are poor. India will be rich if the villages of India are rich. Panchayat should be given greater power, for we want the villagers to have a greater measure of Swaraj, the self-government, in their own villages. The founding fathers of the independent India recognized the concept of self-governance in the directive principles of the state policy of the Constitution, and wide Article 40 provided for setting up of village panchayats. The directive principles of state policy being non-justiciable, there was no pressure on any state. So every state worked on its own, in its own way, to adopt the Panchayati Raj system. The decentralization of socio-economic development program was conceptualized as early as first 5-year plan, undertaking and executing programs of development with support of state. The community development programs launched in 1952 The development was conceived as an integral process and thought to be the key process of the decentralized planning. Need for development administration. Now, with this process of development being introduced in the process of decentralized planning, the need for development administration sensitive to the needs and aspiration of the community, it was recognized. Now, this led to the concept of development blocks, objectives of transforming rural areas with a focus on agriculture was yet to be realized. It failed to mobilize participation of rural masses, as masses felt that this is something thrusted on them. Community development programs started in 1952 were not attached with the people, therefore couldn't prove to be a success story. People took it as a burden put on them by the government. A team under the leadership of Balwant Rai Mehta tried to find out the causes for the failure of this program and came up with the inference that there should be an organization at village level which would select the true beneficiaries and implement various government programs and schemes. In 1977, Ashok Mehta committee was set up to review the working of the panchayats. The committee found out that Panchayat Raj is the soul of democracy and therefore it should be empowered with more authority. Those panchayats which formed after 77 are known as second generation panchayats. In West Bengal, the panchayats became more effective after accepting the suggestions made in this report. In 1989, Rajiv Gandhi's government took two major initiatives designed to enhance the panchayat's role in local government and economic development. It initiated the Jawahar Employment Plan, Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, which provided funding directly to village councils to create jobs for unemployed through public works. All states to establish a 3-tier village block district system of panchayat in which representatives would be directly elected for 5-year terms. Panchayat were to be given expanded authority and funding over local development effort. Despite the popular appeal of transferring power to Panchayat, the 64th Amendment Bill could not be pushed through. During the decade of 1990, it was realized that without constitutional power, the self-government or the Panchayat Raj couldn't be fruitful. It needed a constitutional validity. And thus, central government passed the 73rd Constitutional Amendment of 1992, which became effective from 20th April 93. The basic concept of Panchayat Raj is that the villagers should think, decide and act for their own socio-economic interests. Thus, it is related to village self-governance, where the people in form of an organization will think, decide and act for their collective interests. For integrated rural development, decentralization of power and resources to Panchayat Raj institution, we'll call it PRIs, is an essential element. It has then also realized that panchayats can play effective role through drawing local people, participation in sustainable harvesting and management of local resources. That is something very essential and something very fantastic and something very core to the system and to the philosophy of the system. If financial and technical assistance is provided to them, that is through outsourcing by the government, they will certainly take positive initiative in solving local environmental problems. Agriculture, land improvement, forestry, tree planting, animal husbandry, village and cottage industries, drinking water, poverty alleviation program, health, sanitation, family welfare, etc. are necessarily the concern of the village panchayat. Here I will refer a beautiful experiment by Hivre Bazare a village in Ahmednagar district where a single man with a dedication and transparency transformed a sleeping village into one of the very vibrant economy in the process. Starting from a per capita income of 840 rupees, in 15 to 20 years, the village transformed, enhanced the per capita income to 28,000 rupees. A phenomenal growth, an unimaginable growth. And when you see the CDs on that, and if it is not told it's a village, you will never realize it's a village. You will simply say it's a small time taluk headquarter or a tehsil headquarter or a small township, whereas it's a village.
सच्ची लोकशाही केंद्र में बैठे हुए 20 आदमी नहीं चला सकते। वो तो नीचे से हर एक गांव के लोगों द्वारा चलाई जानी चाहिए। सत्ता के केंद्र बिंदु इस समय दिल्ली, कलकत्ता या बंबई जैसे बड़े नगरों में है। मैं उसे भारत के 7 लाख गांवों में बांटना चाहूंगा।
दिल्ली से करीब 1300 किलोमीटर दूर महाराष्ट्र के अहमदनगर जिले में बसा एक गांव हेवरे बाजार आज बापू के इस सपने को साकार कर रहा है। यहाँ के लोगों के विश्वास के आगे आज दिल्ली और मुंबई में बैठी सरकारें बेमानी हो गई हैं। साफ सफाई, रहन सहन और बाकी जरूरतों के मामले में शहरों को भी पीछे छोड़ चुके यहाँ के लोग आज इस गांव के निवासी होने पर फख्र महसूस करते हैं।
मेरा गांव इस देश में सबसे अच्छा है।
आमचं गाव चांगले आहे, आमचं गाव स्वच्छ आहे।
मुझे अपने गांव की गर्व है ना।
मुझे अपने गांव पर गर्व है।
मैं मेरे नाम के आगे हिवरे बाजार नाम लगाता हूँ। पहले
वर्षों पहले गांव छोड़कर मुंबई और पुणे जैसे शहरों में 2 वक्त की रोटी तलाशने गए लोग आज गांव वापस लौटकर सम्मान और समृद्धि भरी जिंदगी जी रहे हैं।
पूर्वी रोजानी कामाला जात होतो, मग तिथून पुढे
पहले मजदूरी करते थे, 5-10 रुपए रोज मिलते थे तो खाना मिलता था। लेकिन वाटर शेड का काम होने से पानी रुकने लगा, उसकी वजह से खेती होने लगी। फिर 2 गायें खरीद ली, बाद में 16-17 गायें हो गई। 250 से 300 लीटर दूध रोज बेचते हैं, जिससे आमदनी बढ़ गई है।
बहुत साल हो गए मैं गांव में आया नहीं था, तो गांव में आके देखा मैंने कि इतना सारा प्रोग्रेस हो रहा है, तो मन बना लिया मैंने कि गांव में एक अपना घर होना चाहिए और इधर ही सेटल होने का।
गांव का हर घर गुलाबी रंग में रंगा है और गलियां हर वक्त इस तरह सजी रहती हैं मानो कोई त्योहार मनाया जा रहा हो। ये इस गांव का सरकारी स्कूल है। यहाँ अध्यापक देश के बाकी गांवों के स्कूलों की तरह गायब नहीं रहते। वजह ग्राम सभा की हर बैठक में उन्हें पूरे गांव के सामने जवाब दे। स्कूल के ही बगल में आंगनवाड़ी केंद्र है। ग्राम सभा की बैठक में हर महीने इसके कामकाज पर भी चर्चा होती है।
अगर मैं लेट आती हूँ या कोई गलती करती हूँ तो ग्राम सभा में लोग सवाल करते हैं, लेकिन फैसला सब मिलकर लेते हैं।
और ये इस गांव का पंचायत घर है, जिसे यहाँ के लोग ग्राम संसद कहते हैं। ग्राम संसद यानी गांव के लोगों की अपनी संसद, जिसमें गांव के तमाम लोग बैठते हैं और अपनी उन्नति की योजनाएं बनाते हैं। यहाँ ना कोई जनप्रतिनिधि होता है और ना सरकार। सारे लोग खुद ही गांव की सरकार होते हैं। ये सरकार ना कोई बनाता है ना गिराता है। लोग हैं तो सरकार है। इस सरकार ने पिछले 15 साल में जो कुछ काम किया है उसकी जगह जगह तारीफ हो रही है। हिवरे बाजार गांव की ये खुशहाली कोई बहुत पुरानी बात भी नहीं है। सन 1989 तक यानी महज 20 साल पहले तक ये गांव पूरी तरह बर्बाद था। आज गांव की पर कैपिटा इनकम यानी हर आदमी की औसत आय 28,000 रुपए सालाना है, लेकिन 1989 में ये महज 842 रुपए थी। यहाँ के 90% लोग गरीबी रेखा के नीचे थे। गांव में इतनी शराब बनती थी कि आसपास के गांवों में भी सप्लाई होती थी और लोग आपस में लड़ते रहते थे।
हम लोगों ने ग्राम सभा में यही तय किया कि भाई कोई सरकार आएगी और गांव में और हमारे परिवार में बदलाव लाएगी, ऐसी बात नहीं है, तो हमें कुछ करना है। इसलिए हम लोगों ने सबको साथ लेके यही बताया कि भाई आपके प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है। तो किसी ने कहा भाई पीने को पानी नहीं, गांव में पानी दे दो। कुछ लोगों ने कहा अरे खेती को पानी नहीं, खेती को पानी दो। किसी लोगों ने कहा बिजली नहीं, बिजली दे दो। कुछ लोगों ने कहा ये तो सब होगा ही, लेकिन अच्छी पढ़ाई भी होनी चाहिए, तो गांव में स्कूल का निर्माण होना चाहिए, अच्छा स्कूल होना चाहिए।
इसके बाद 15 साल से गांव में चुनाव नहीं हुए हैं। चुनाव का समय आते ही हर बार गांव की व्यवस्था निर्विरोध रूप से पोपटराव पवार को सौंप दी जाती है। इस दौरान गांव की जो तस्वीर बदली है, इसके लिए ना तो कोई अतिरिक्त सरकारी सहायता ली गई है और न ही किसी संस्था या उद्योग घराने से कोई प्रोजेक्ट। जो कुछ भी यहाँ दिख रहा है, गांव वालों ने मिल बैठकर तय किया है और बनाया है।
इसका एक ही मंत्र है, लीडरशिप पंचायत की है, डिसीजन सभी ग्राम सभा से है, और यही है कि भाई कोई सरकार नहीं दिल्ली मुंबई में, सरकार तो हम ही है और हम हमारे लिए काम करें। बस ये आत्मविश्वास जगाए उनका, और बस वो सामने।
Few youths joined together under a leadership. They determined to change the fate of the village. They made the system transparent. They made the Gram Sabha vibrant. They called it Gram Sansad. They don't say Gram Panchayat or Gram Sabha. They say it's Gram Sansad. It's the parliament of the village. And you have to see to believe how issues identified, transparency, thorough discussion on the issues, people encouraged to speak, to talk, to participate. And there was originally the traditional resistance of the caste system, the economic disparity, and slight element of feudalism. But gradually, as the process generated and developed and grew, and as the individual power was overtaken by the group dynamics and group power, everybody aligned with that. And the result was Hibre Bazar. The basic concept of Panchayat is that the villagers should think, decide and act for their own socio-economic interest. I have already told. Thus, Panchayati Raj Act is related to village self-governance, where the people in the form of an organization will think, decide and act for their own collective interest. Self-government allows us to decide about ourselves without hampering others' interest. This is one of the very important synergy generated in this process, that people shed their individual agendas and the collective agenda dominates the individual agenda over a period of time, and it becomes a collective activity. Whenever we talk about the collective benefit, one point is clear, that there is no conflict between the villagers. Collective interest on one side and societal and national interest on the other side. Rather, they are not contradictory, they are complementary. Where the panchayats end their activities, the state government takes them up, and the state government plays their major role. See the linkage. The Panchayat Raj energy dynamics gives a backward linkage to the district process, and district dynamics gives a backward linkage to the state process. And so these units, they are not serving as independent socio-political entities, but they are vibrating in tandem with a rhythm for a collective purpose and a collective energy. That's the beauty of the concept. The state government plays their major role to support the village panchayats, to coordinate the village panchayats, to ensure the implementation of this system. That's the role, or you can say that the backward linkage by the state to the district, and from the district to the panchayats. Beside these, Once the democratic institutions in the village and towns become strong, the people's representative can express the problems of their constituency in a better and more authentic way. They will have coherence in their voice. They will have authenticity in their presentations. They will have truth in what they are telling, and they will have a better appeal and better acceptance. This will help in policy determination for national interest. For the success of self-government, self-reliance is a must. The self-reliance means every village must produce according to its capacity and try to increase its capacity, which can be achieved by identifying economic and human resources of the panchayat area, by estimating the capacity of these resources, by making decisions for utilizing these resources, by formulating plans, by implementing plans, by evaluating plans. Let me repeat. The self-reliance means every village must produce according to its capacity and try to increase its capacity, which can be achieved in following ways. By identifying economic and human resources of the panchayat area, by estimating the capacity of these resources, by making decisions for utilizing these resources, by formulating plans, by implementing plans, by evaluating plans. Thus we find that the self-governance is a concept which is the base for success of a democracy, and for self-governance and Panchayat Raj system is a must. Again, I will quote हिब्रे बाजार।
इस गांव की खुशहाली का मूल मंत्र है फैसले लेने और उन्हें अमल में लाने में लोगों की भागीदारी। देश के तमाम गांवों और शहरों में विकास के नाम पर चलाए जा रहे कार्यक्रमों और योजनाओं की सफलता तभी संभव है जब योजना बनाने से लेकर उन्हें अमल में लाने तक की जिम्मेदारी खुद उन लोगों के हाथों में हो जिनके लिए ये बनती हैं। हिवरे बाजार गांव में आज जो कुछ भी है उसी की बदौलत है।
As a reference, I must add that this 73rd amendment, this has enumerated around 29 duties which were related to, which is to be attended by the panchayats as a must. The gram panchayats are the basic units in Panchayat Raj institution system. They have 3 levels: the village level, block level and district level. At the village level they are called panchayats. It's a local body working for village. The number of members usually range from 7 to 31. Occasionally groups are larger, but they never have fewer than 7 members. The block level institutions is called Panchayat Samiti, and the district level institution is called Zilla Parishad. This is the 3-tier structure. Now, Gram Sabha is constituted by all members of the village which are above 18 years of age, and the Gram Sabha elects the Gram Panchayat, a council of elected members taking decisions on key issues to the village's social, cultural and economic. Social, cultural and economic. Thus, a Gram Panchayat is also a village body of elected representative. It's as good as Gram Sansad. The council leader is named as Sarpanch in Hindi, and each member in a Gram Panchayat is Sadasya or a Panch. The member is a Panch and the leader is the Sarpanch. The Panchayat acts as a conduit between the local government and the people. Decisions are taken by majority vote, Bahumat. It is said that in such a system, each villager can voice his opinion in the governance of his village. Decisions are taken without lengthy legal procedures, and the process remains for the most part transparent. And the success of Panchayat system will depend upon participation and transparency. They are the key words, key figures. One of the great effort of India in MNREGS, the largest job demanded works for entire nation, the Panchayat Raj system is the hope to translate this dream into action. Panchayat Samiti is the local government body at the Tehsil or Taluka level in India. It works for villages of Tehsil or Taluka, and they are together sometimes called developmental block. The Panchayat Samiti is the link between the Gram Panchayat and the district administration. It's the via media. Now there are a number of variations of this institution in various states with various nomenclature. Mandal Praja Parishad in Andhra Pradesh, Taluka Panchayat in Gujarat, Mandal Panchayat in Karnataka, etc., etc. The co-opted members, which are representatives of SC/ST and women representative. Associate member, a farmer of the area, a representative of the cooperative society, and one of the marketing services representative. And some elected members. The Samiti is elected for 5 years and it's headed by the chairman and a deputy chairman. Let us glance through the activities or the departments or the sections which this Samiti encounter. It's a general administration, finance, public work, agriculture, health, education, social welfare, information technology, and others. And there is one officer for each department overlooking the function. A government appointed block development officer is the executive officer to the Samiti and chief of its administration. And that is, this links with the block setup. The functions are implement schemes for development of agriculture, establishment of primary health centers and primary schools, supply of drinking water, drainage, construction, repair of road, development of cottage and small scale industry, and opening of cooperative societies and establishment of youth organizations. Now the main source of income of the Panchayat Samiti are grants and loans from the state government. Now let us have a small brief conducted tour on district level panchayats. Now district level panchayat, they are called Jila Parishads. It looks after the administration of the rural area of the districts and its office is located at the district headquarters. The Hindi word Parishad means council and Jila is translated to district council. It is headed by the district collector or district magistrate or the deputy commissioner. It's a link between the state government and the Panchayat Samiti. Members of the Jila Parishad are elected from the district on the basis of adult franchise. For a term of 5 years, Jila Parishad has minimum of 50 and maximum of 75 members. Seats reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, backward classes and women. The chairman of all Panchayat Samiti form the members of Jila Parishad. The Parishad is headed by a president and a vice president. The area of operations, the functions of Jila Parishad are provide essential services and facility to the rural population, planning and execution of developmental programs of the district, supply improved seeds to the farmer, inform them new techniques of training, undertake construction of small scale irrigation product, percolation tanks, pastures, grazing lands, set up run schools in villages, execute programs for adult literacy, run libraries, start primary health centers, hospitals in the villages, mobile hospitals, hamlet, vaccination drive, etc., etc. Construction of bridges and roads, plans for development of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, encourage entrepreneurs to start small scale industry, cottage industry, handicraft, agricultural produce processing, mill, dairy farm, implement rural employment schemes. Construct road, schools and public properties, take care of public properties, and they will supply work for the poor people. The sources of income for a Jila Parishad is taxes, taxation, pilgrimage, market, water, and a fixed grant from the government, state government, in proportion to land revenue and money for work and schemes against the Parishad. At present, there are about 3 million elected representatives at all the levels of Panchayat, 1/3 of which are women. These members represent more than 2.4 lakh Gram Panchayats, about 6,000 intermediate level tiers, and more than 500 district Panchayats. Spread over a length and breadth of the country, the new Panchayats cover about 96% of the India's more than 5.8 lakh villages, nearly 99.6% of rural population. Such is the vastness of the system, such is the coverage of the system, such is the potential of the system. The Panchayat Raj scheme is meant to ensure that the challenges facing rural India are resolved by rural participation. Unless this happens, the country will not be vibrant, the country will not be Sone ki Chidiya. This is the largest experiment in decentralizing of governance in the history of humanity. The Panchayat Raj institution system in India is the largest experiment in decentralization of governance in the history of humanity. It is the largest experiment of the largest democracy in the world. It is the largest experiment to democratize each and every element of the country. It is the largest experiment to make the phenomena participative right from the grassroots level to the top leadership of the country. Something fantastic and really unbelievable. Looking at the achievements of the Panchayat Raj institution for last decade, the innovation has empowered the village community, widened the democratic base of rural India. Panchayat Raj has resulted in amazing development. Women empowerment and emergence of women as the leader is one of the fantastic, terrible achievement of this experiment. Large number of women are shouldering responsibilities with grace and competence, bringing enormous courage, enthusiasm and creativity. Today, more than 40% elected candidates are women folks. One exhilarating aspect of the constitutional provisions relating to the Panchayat in the empowerment with high degree of self-confidence and self-esteem, coupled with political awareness and service orientation. Empowerment with high degree of self-confidence and self-esteem coupled with political awareness and service orientation. See this, each word, each letter enacted in Hibre Bazaar experiment. Each letter of this statement you can see enacted live in Hibre Bazaar experiment.
हिवरे बाजार की ग्राम सभा ने एक और बड़े सवाल का जवाब दिया है, वो है लोगों का रवैया। आमतौर पर सवाल उठता है कि अगर फैसले लेने का काम सभी लोगों की बैठक में होगा तो फैसले हो ही नहीं पाएंगे, या फिर प्रभावशाली लोग अपने पक्ष में फैसले करा लेंगे। लेकिन यहाँ ग्राम सभा में कई ऐसे फैसले लिए गए जो प्रभावशाली लोगों की गतिविधियों के खिलाफ थे, लेकिन थोड़े विरोध के बाद इनका पालन हुआ क्योंकि फैसले ग्राम सभा ने लिए थे।
It's not theory, it's very much practical. It's not an imagination, it's very much a reality. It's not an academic discussion, it's a hard, practical, result-oriented, synergizing effort, opportunity. In words of Professor Amartya Sen, Nobel laureate, it is empowerment that leads to entitlements, and entitlements lead to enrichment. If the villagers are empowered, they will entitle, and when they are entitled, they are enriched. And 70% of the India's billion plus population living in its more than 5 lakh villages, this experiment will ensure that the challenges facing rural India are resolved by rural participation and emancipation of rural India takes place. Though structural changes and reorganizations were introduced in the international panchayat setups, the primary three-tier system of the Panchayat Raj was never disturbed. The changes took place here and there, some transformations, but then the basic three-tier structure, this remained the same. When we look back at the achievements of Panchayat Raj institutions for the last decade, the innovations have empowered the village community, widened democratic base of rural India, and Panchayat Raj has resulted in amazing development, women empowerment and emergence of women as a leader. Large number of women are shouldering responsibilities with grace and competence, bringing enormous courage and enthusiasm. Today, more than 40% elected candidates are women folks. One exhilarating aspect of constitutional provision, high degree of self-confidence and self-esteem coupled with political awareness and service orientation, Panchayat Raj has become an irreversible process at the grassroots level. Now, India's rural population, it depends on agriculture. India needs inclusive and integrated growth. The cross-country rural market needs to be networked, and thus a concept of rural business hubs on the lines of Chinese model of business hubs. The initiative is to fuse the rural produce with corporate expertise, loading brand and marketing initiative of giant corporates with the rural latent resources and get an organized marketability. Try to understand. The initiative is to fuse the rural produce with corporate expertise and loading the brand and marketing initiative of giant corporations with the rural latent resource and get an organized marketability. That is, the rural potential is catapulted into a bigger orbit. Now, giants like ITC, Reliance, Hindustan Lever have developed a supply chain of rural resources. And a lot of corporates, big wigs, they are coming, and the chain of such stores are being built. The chain of such hubs are being created on point to point, point to point. Panchayats today, they are also directly instrumental in planning and executing NREG Act, ensuring 100 wage employment in every financial year. And in common days, in the rural development format of the government, as the thinking goes, the Panchayati Raj system has a very frontal role, the key role to play, and they will be acting as a matrix of transformation of the rural India. Now, there are certain aberrations in this effort which are quite obvious, and these aberrations, they take place whenever there is a colossal social transformation, because as I told you in the initial stages, in the system balance, when the systems go for a balancing approach, there are drags and pulls, and there are synergies and resource additions. Both the forces, the pro forces and the anti forces, both play, and they try to wiggle the system. And it is here the initiative and the effort to weed out the negative forces, reinforce the positive forces, and go for a better output. Now, the bureaucratic methods of the state governments dilute the spirit of implementation. The political concepts prevailing, the social concepts prevailing, In some cases, panchayats are becoming an institution to perpetuate caste inequalities that already existed. Now, these panchayat systems, they are being made as a platforms to augment these negative vibes. But with education and with more transparency, with more result-oriented functioning, with more models like Hivre Bazare being emulated and being seen, the things are for a change. The power rooted in caste, gender and sometimes religion, this does affect the functioning of the panchayat system, but I am sure once the positive dynamics takes place, these will be redundant forces and they will die their own deaths. The real effect will come when system is participative and socio-economic equality is achieved, a socio-political change for a better India. This is the dream, this is the Mahatma's dream, this is the Nehruji's dream, this is the Amartya Sen's concept of emancipation. Now, let us have a small view on a very nodal agency in this entire process at the district level, that is District Rural Development Agency. The DRDA, traditionally known, is a principal organ at the district level to oversee the implementation of different developmental programs, different anti-poverty programs and different implementation of government schemes. For a successful implementation of rural development programs, an effective delivery agency is as important and as critical as any effective program design, and DRDA is one such instrument and the such instrument. The anti-poverty programs, unless implemented with clarity of purpose and commitment, will not have the impact. It is here that the DRDA plays a critical role. They oversee the implementation of components, provide the linkage and facilitate and provide the support to the implementation system. They play effective role in catalyst to development process. They are an expert agencies with expertise, with technical know-how and with the administrative directives. DRDA is visualized as a specialized and professional agency capable of managing the anti-poverty programs of the government and relate them to the district level. They give a forward-backward linkage to the programs. If you imagine a computer system, set of computers, if all village panchayats, they are the different computer units, then this is the central processing unit. DRD is the central processing unit, and this gives an online connectivity. All programs are run because of this central processing unit. It also provides synergies among different agencies involved for effective results. The role of DRDA is different from all other agencies, including Jila Parishad. The DRDA has to develop district capabilities rather than perform task, sort of consultancy, a sort of agency for the capacity building of the acting agencies. Tasks are to be performed by PRIs and other line departments. DRDAs have to coordinate and interact with multiple agencies and the PRIs involved in rural development and anti-poverty program. The objectives of DRDA is to ensure intersectoral and interdepartmental coordination and cooperation and for the growth of the district. Their capability is to bring about a convergence approach among different agencies to DRDA, are separate entities and function under chairmanship of Jila Parishad. And wherever such institutions are not in existence, under the district magistrate or the district commissioner, deputy commissioner, and it provides necessary executive and technical support to the line organization. This is a resource hub for the line organization. DRDAs also review the implementation process, ensure the benefit earmarks to target groups, that is SC, ST, women, disabled, reach to them, take steps to improve, propagate the awareness regarding rural development, poverty alleviation programs. This will involve issues of poverty, resources, opportunities available in the rural masses. Empowering rural masses in their ability to overcome poverty. Now that's the central theme of the DRDA's functioning. Empowering rural masses in their ability to overcome poverty. Any work undertaken by DRDA should have anti-poverty focus. That's the mantra. Each DRDA is under a charge of a CEO, is called project director, and when there are no Jila Parishad, a cell is created which maintains a separate identity. Now operational wings of DRDA look after planning, social mobilization, credit, technologies, self-employment, women cells, watershed management, engineering, accounts, etc. A monitoring and evaluation wing overseen by project economists. This is in a nutshell the DRDA, which is a consultancy hub and a convergence matrix for the different line agencies acting for the rural development programs. Now, for coming 3 to 5 years, the future vision for PRI institutions may be seen as energizing Gram Sabhas or village electorates, ensuring accountability and transparency in these bodies, sensitizing officials and facilitating a stronger Panchayat administration link, deliver the promises of facilitating more equitable and effective developments. States to take PRI seriously and commit the resources to them. PRI is to develop a very broad-based relationship with NGOs, state government and various institutes for greater impact and effectiveness, that is better fusion. On ongoing evolution of PRI capacities to effectively and inclusively perform multiple development functions, help generate pool of replicable ideas. Now the flagship schemes on rural development which are undertaken by PRIs, National Rural Employment Guarantee Act of February 2006, extended to 593 districts covering approximate 450 lakhs families with a current outlay of more than 39,000 crores. Central Sanitation Scheme, Sampurva Gramin Rozgar Yojana, Swarn Jayanti Gram Swaraj Yojana, Pura Yojana, and there is a Sansad and Vidhayak Nidhi also for these rural development efforts. Now let me sum up. Panchayat Raj system, the ancient system prevailing in the Indian society. In the present format, it has 3-tier structure: Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Jila Parishad. 70% of the India's billion plus population, more than 5 lakh villages. Panchayat Raj scheme is meant to ensure the challenges of the Indian rural India are resolved by rural population. It can be very nicely linked and summed up with Professor Amar Sen's statement. It is empowerment that leads to entitlement, and entitlement leading to enrichment. Panchayat Raj is empowerment of rural India. And then it is a rural participation of rural resources for rural activity and rural income generation. Lot of empowerment, lot of emancipation, lot of self-esteem which is coming up, and the real rural potential is blooming up, blooming up, blooming up. Thank you.